So please join us. We need you. We need as many people as possible. We heard an awful rumour yesterday direct from an MP. So you may all have heard that the travel mandate was not supposed to be extended, the travel mandate vaccine passport federally to 5 to 11-year-olds. Did you hear that on the news? Okay. So if you're 12 years old or older in Canada at the moment, you cannot get on a train or a plane within your own country, never mind travel internationally. The Feds said a couple of weeks ago that this would not be extended to the 5 to 11-year-olds. Well, it's changing already, and we need to say no to that, right? There's kids in Nova Scotia who can't come home and see their families for Christmas because they're not vaccinated unless someone drives 6 days to pick them up. This is just wrong. How anyone can accept this is absolutely beyond me. So please, our message for you at Christmas time is, please hug your family. Maybe don't talk about COVID. Add it to the list of religion and politics of things you don't talk about around the table, because we have to make up for lost time. We're going to need those relationships and connections far beyond whenever we're past this. So on behalf of Families for Choice, please join us. Go to our website, familiesforchoice.ca, and please have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. I just wanted to add, she said something actually that I even had on my mind this morning about lines being crossed and where was your line crossed. I know a lot of you here, your line was crossed when the lockdown started in March of 2020, and you could see this was a scam. But I know also that many of us woke up and decided to step up at different points. For me, it was August 2020 when they started forcing the muzzles on people. I could see where this was going. If they could force a muzzle on us, they could force us to do anything. And you know, what came to mind was some of the Native American traditions. It's been said that they used to make decisions with 7 generations in mind. And we have a society now that doesn't even think 7 days ahead. They're willing to put on a muzzle with no consideration for what this is going to do for our future, for our children's future and our grandchildren's future. We have to start thinking like that. We can't keep waiting for things to touch us. A lot of these deadlines, you're seeing people speaking up now simply because their work is firing them. They waited until it got to that point, and there's still people waiting for it to get worse. A lot of you heard this week in New Brunswick, the vax passes are starting in grocery stores. We warned you about this. It's coming. Is that your line? Where's your line when you can't eat anymore? The hospital, we've been hearing stories already from the Children's Hospital. They are getting a lot of children in now with adverse effects. So you think you're going to see this on the CBC? They're not going to tell you. They're covering it up. So this rally, and the reason we haven't stopped, is for that reason. This is at the core of our mission, has always been to get people to speak up, and that's why we have new people here every week, people just like you and me, because every time somebody speaks up, somebody else is going to speak up, and somebody else, and it keeps going. We got 1 police officer in this city, 1 police officer speaking up. What do you think it's gonna, and look at the impact he's had. We have over 500,000 views on his video on our page alone. What do you think if we had 5 police officers speaking up? What about 10? What about 100? What if we have 100 police officers speaking up? You think that's gonna make an impact? So that's how this works, guys. That's why we keep coming back here. We keep pushing for that, and we don't quit. So the next person who's ready to speak up is a parent. His name is Ryan. Please welcome him, Ryan.
Yeah, another Ryan, just to keep it easy. I have to apologize. I wrote myself a speech just to keep me on track. It's hard to deal with this. Okay. So, just a quick background. My daughter's 18. She's She functions at about 11-year-old level, and she's got many walls in her life that she had to overcome. So she has epilepsy, she has an autoimmune disorder, she has anaphylactic allergies as long as my arm. Due to these issues, we went to the courts and actually got a full guardianship to protect her. So all medical decisions have to go through us as the parents. We put this in place, 2 reasons. Number one, obviously she can't make her own decisions informed. Secondly, of course, is to make sure that all of the interactions with everything are considered prior to anything happening. We wanted to provide her with some opportunity in life. She had many things in her way. So we wanted to enroll her in a transition to employment program at the Olds College. That started in August of this year, and it went fairly well. Then mid-September, they came together and decided to bring in the vaccine mandate. Or they gave us the choice of a 72-hour testing protocol, of course at our own cost. Firstly, though, they communicated this only directly to my daughter via email, in a very poorly worded email. Luckily, her live-in caretaker forwarded that email to us, so we were able to have a discussion with her that evening that will continue with the testing. Of course, Olds didn't have any testing programs available. We had to haul her into Airdrie to do that. The first appointment we had available was on the Monday, so we told her, just don't go to school on Monday and we'll get you tested and you can start on Tuesday. On the Sunday, she decided to go to school to hang out with a couple friends of hers, talk to them. They explained to her that they were going to go down to the pharmacy and all get vaccinated together. She also talked to one of the administrators at the school and echoed the same thing, that without vaccination, she can't go to school. So later that day, she went into the pharmacy, and the pharmacist just gave her the vaccine. So, very much so. So since then we've gotten our own legal counsel. We've invested thousands of dollars. We did get a letter back from the Olds College saying that they wanted to sit down and actually change their policies to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So we are going to do that. We're stopping any more legal recourse on Olds because they're being reasonable. However, the pharmacy, Rexall Pharmacy, we're trying. There's just some big pockets, really deep pockets, and we're already just for the Rexall side, we're already $8,000 into legal fees. Unfortunately, I think the legal aspects are going to be hard to come by. But what I want to bring everybody's attention to is the injuries. So since the vaccination, she was diagnosed with epilepsy at 11. She had what we call petit mal seizures. So those seizures are essentially absent seizures. So you just zone out, don't pay attention. A young kid, parents, pay attention to me. We started yelling at her and stuff, and finally got it diagnosed that her issue was that she was having these seizures. Since 11, she has never had a seizure again once we got her on all of her meds and everything all balanced out. September 19th, she had her vaccine. After that, she had a full grand mal seizure. Called the ambulance, took her to the hospital. About a week later, she had another one at school, right in the middle of class. About another week later, she was at her work employment program, which was with a daycare in front of toddlers. And she had a seizure right in front of toddlers. Since then, we've had to come to the disturbing result of having to pull her from the program. We're bringing her back home as we speak right now. My wife's picking up her stuff and moving her back home. I'm here today to express publicly that our struggles are hard to deal with, and the blatant, life-threatening, enthusiastically stupid decisions that we've experienced. My daughter's life was put at risk for no real reason, and her protection was circumvented with no remorse. There's so many horrible policies, uninformed decisions that have brought her risk. The decision to remain vaccine-free is a complex one and should never be looked upon as a one-size-fits-all solution. Her injuries have set her back in undeterminable ways. She may never regain her baseline functions. I'm here sticking my neck out in the public to make sure that this story gets out there and that everybody thinks hard before making these decisions. There are real consequences, and we're living them. The bedrock of bioethics is do no harm. She was never under any concerning threat to this disease, and now she has been immeasurably harmed. For the greater good of whom? I ask all of you to please take this time and make sure that you get all of the information before you make this decision. Remember, the ends never justify the means. We're living proof. We are here as the beginning to the end of this nightmare.
Thank you, Ryan. And that's just one of many, many, many stories we're going to start seeing coming up in the coming days of children being harmed. Next up, we have Chantel Unger. She is the one who has helped bring Santa here today, and she wants to speak to you about their group, Free to Play. Hello, Chantel.
Hi. Sorry if my voice is shaky. I'm really cold. So first of all, I wanted to let you guys know that Santa is here till 2. So this will be a last call for anyone who wants pictures with Santa to head on over there and sign up and go and get your pictures with him. So one of the reason why we're doing the pictures with Santa is as it's a donation towards our cause and what we're doing. We're a group called Freedom to Play, and currently are have legal action against the city of Calgary that has put on together mandates on children ages 12 and up for doing their recreational activities. So if the kids want to go to play hockey or anything like that, they have to get a negative test to go and play, or in some cases they can't go in at all because some places have gone above and beyond this and will only allow vaccination for those recreational activities. So we decided to band together and take the city of Calgary to court. They've gone above and beyond what they went above and beyond what the province mandated, and that's just not okay. So we decided to take this action. We're still about $10,000 away or so from our goal of paying for all of the legal fees. Anything that you guys can do to help would be appreciated, and we've got our table set up over there. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts that have kind of been going through my head over the last few weeks as things have progressed. We ended up changing our our filing when the vaccine became available for 5+. We had to change the wording. So we do have a court date, but now it's not until January. So January 6th is our first court date tentatively. So you guys can all keep that in your minds and just remember that. And but as we're kind of waiting for this to just happen, I'm just trying to get the word out there to the people who are okay with everything that's going on, or being just okay with it, I guess, and just living and doing their thing. The one thing that has really struck me is anytime there's lies being told or darkness, is when you shine light on it, then truth is revealed. So I just want to challenge everyone to be that light, and do it in love, because I do know when I've been having conversations with people, if I'm aggressive, they shut down, right? And so doing that in love does not mean that you're just being complacent. Being honest is still loving. I had a conversation with a nurse the other day who has seen the worst of both worlds. She's seen the worst of COVID, but she's also seen the worst of the vaccine. And so she's terrified to leave her house. And I told her, why are you scared? We're not supposed to be living in fear. We're supposed to just live. And so let's just continue on living and being that light for people, and showing people that being afraid, all it's doing is creating more darkness and more division amongst our communities. Sorry? We do not have a website. No. We do have an email. It's called nomorewatermelon@proton.com. I know, there's backstory on that. Watermelon's our code word for vaccine. On Facebook, we are Freedom to Play. That's our group. And we also, so you can connect with myself on there, and that's fine. And we also have, oh, I'm blanking now. What's that other? Telegram, yes. So again, and it's Freedom to Play. So yeah, feel free to follow us on there. Facebook has flagged us. They're starting to, they want to shut us down. So we're trying to be more careful on how we are approaching people on Facebook, but following us on the Telegram page would be definitely helpful. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to share.
Thank you. Okay. All right, we have a gentleman here named John who's going to share his story. He works for Canada Post.
Hey, John! Go!
Thank you.
Got the city down with no mail.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, John.
My name's John. I may or may not be a letter carrier with Canada Post. I'd like to start with a quote. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Albert Einstein. His voice has echoed through time. Now it's our turn to raise our voices. Today we have somewhere around 20% of people saying no. Imagine if we could get that to 99%. Things would change in a hurry. Change is what we need. Last month at Canada Post, we were instructed to attest to our vaccination status by November 26th. Attest. Presumably, this word was used to make us believe that their actions had some legal relevance. If we didn't attest, that we were either unable to vaccinate due to medical or religious reasons, or intended to be fully vaccinated by January 29, then we would be put on leave without pay. We received automated calls daily instructing us to give our private medical information to our employer. So here I am, and here I have my failure to comply notification. This is how it reads. Our records show that as of November 26, 2021, you have yet to comply with Canada Post's new vaccination practice. As a result, this letter is to inform you of the following. You have been placed on administrative leave without pay effective November 27, 2021. You are prohibited from attending work, including working remotely. You will remain on leave without pay until you are compliant with the practice. Absolutely. Coercion, discrimination, medical intervention, and extortion were now all part of my workday. I overheard a colleague say, speaking of mental health, in regards to another postal worker attending these rallies. It reminded me of being in school where I was ostracized and bullied. I didn't know it then. I see now the value in these experiences. I learned early on that it was okay to be different, that I would be all right, if not stronger, if I remained my own person and didn't follow the crowd. So here I am. I love my job. I love going out to the streets of this beautiful city and bringing people their purchases and their mail. That right has been stolen from me. A year ago at Canada Post, while people around the world were being made willing prisoners in their own homes, the banner read, "Heroes work here." Today, as they shut the door on my face, we are vilified. Gratefully, I can look around me today, and all I see are heroes.
For your family.
Heroes I am proud to stand with.